tonight.
It gave us an opportunity then to come together as a group and say, what can we do in the interim?
The Lloydminster Co-op joins in a provincial assistance program to support junior hockey players and their families. And first responders are battling it out on the ice this weekend to raise money for those affected by the Humboldt crash. Plus, an ex-NHL player shares his memories of the Kinsmen Club as the organization celebrates 90 years.
This is Newcap News with Brian Lentz.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A week after the deadly Humboldt Broncos bus crash, the province of Saskatchewan is taking more painful steps towards recovery today, saying goodbye to 3 of our own. Jacob Light, the 19-year-old Humboldt Broncos player, was laid to rest after a celebration of life on the team's home ice. The funeral for Adam Harold, the 16-year-old defenseman and youngest member of the team, was held just east of Regina. And the funeral for Glenn Dirksen, the 59-year-old bus driver of the Broncos, was in Carrot River, just outside Nipawin, Saskatchewan. And while the hockey community continues to come to terms with the tragic accident, the Lloyd Co-op has committed a generous donation to the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League Assistance Program.
You know, when news of the tragedy broke, it gave us an opportunity then to come together as a group and say, what can we do in the interim?
The assistance program was announced just days after the incident, with over 60 local co-ops committing funds. The program is aimed at providing assistance for both those directly connected to the Humboldt Broncos organization and the other 11 SJHL teams.
It's a grief counseling, it's a mental health counseling that enables players to reach out, families to reach out, and those affected by this tragedy to reach out and help them through this process. To date, it's raised just short of $400,000 for this program.
The Lloyd Co-op has donated $10,000 to the initiative. The Federated Cooperatives has matched nearly $200,000 in donations from local co-ops. And the Saskatchewan EMS Charity Hockey Tournament takes place this weekend at the Servus Sports Centre. Proceeds were originally going to kids sport, but they agreed with the organizers to send the funds to Humboldt Relief instead.
It's relief for the families, the first responders, and everybody involved in the accident.
6 EMS teams from across the province will come together over the next few days, which has been a huge bonding experience in the past.
Maybe share experiences, just grow that relationship a little bit better. This year, obviously it's going to mean a little bit more. I think we're going to be a little more unified this year as far as just the players go.
Just under $4,000 was raised last year, and there's already been an outpouring of local donations.
For the people that still want to donate, we're going to be having a bucket here at the Holmes Arena at the Servus Sports Centre for anyone that wants to come and watch.
The action begins at 7:15 tonight, with the games the rest of the weekend starting at 9 a.m. Well, the clock is ticking as Kinsmen Lloydminster gears up for their 90th anniversary celebration. Jared Lampel meets a hockey great who is still sharing his time in the community.
Wayne that same year with Bill Hunter.
Skip Krake credits Wild Bill Hunter as the man who was instrumental in moving the Edmonton Oilers from the WHA days. Quite the times at the Kinsmen Lloydminster Sports Dinners, as these celebrities came to the border city to help raise funds for sporting arenas and parks.
And actually pretty much all the rinks in Lloydminster, the Archie Miller, and we did a lot with the upstairs at the Centennial Civic Center as well.
Right winger Krake played for the Boston Bruins in 1966-1967 and finished his career with the Edmonton Oilers. He moved to Lloydminster in 1976 and joined the Kinsmen, pitching in at the sports dinners.
This is Gordie Howe and Eddie Shack, and that's Del Funk, used to be a real estate agent here, and that's Brian Shepard actually from Shep Sports.
From Telemiracle to Kids Sport, Kinsmen fundraisers packed them in.
We had grapes down here, Donnie Cherry, and that's Bill Twilley behind the hat that we gave to Grapes and Bill, And Bill Twilley was a PR guy for the Oilers for many, many years.
Kinsmen Lloydminster is celebrating 90 years with a gala on April 21st at the Lloyd Stockade. Krake is lending his voice to the effort and encouraging people to join the club.
Friendships are, well, they're formed for life in something like the Kinsmen.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
Well, there's lots on the agenda this weekend. Vintage lovers have a chance to score big at the Antique Show and Sale, or you can head to Vermilion to check out some unique art pieces. Heather Klages has the details in this week's What's Happening.
It's going to be an opportunity to take a stroll down memory lane, and you just never know what you're going to find at the Antique and Vintage Show and Sale on this weekend, being hosted by the Border City Optimist Club. Maybe you're somebody who loves old pieces of farm equipment, or maybe you've been following the Chuck Wagons, the CPCA for years, and you've got great items that you think are vintage or might be antiques. Well, what a great way to meet people who know even more about them at the show and sale coming up this weekend. It's going to be on tomorrow from 10 until 6 and Sunday 10 to 5. There's quite a few people who would consider the work on this truck as artwork, and you've got a great opportunity to see some great local artists tomorrow in Vermilion at the 8th Annual Art Show and Sale. It's free for you to get in at the Vermilion Regional Center, and there's going to be artist demos there as well, and also an opportunity to see work from their featured artists. Things are going to run tomorrow 10 to 4. We want you to start your weekend off by winning, and this weekend you could win a copy of Maroon 5's latest album, Red Pill Blues. It includes the hits Wait, What Lovers Do. There's also some special guests on this album, including Lunch Money Lewis and Julia Michaels. If you want to win a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontest@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. Coming up Monday night is Avery Outreach School's annual dessert night and silent auction fundraiser. It's going to be at Spiro's. If you want to get your tickets, you can stop by the school. They're $10 each. Whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klages, and that's what's happening.
This is Newcap Sports.
Badminton season is on for the area's junior high schools, and one Lloydminster team is finding success against more experienced competition. The early success isn't surprising given the two are very familiar with each other. Lance Phillips has more.
For some athletes, playing sports against older, more experienced versions of themselves can be a daunting task, but not necessarily for two College Park School badminton players. At a recent Grade 9 badminton tournament, the pair played their way to a bronze medal, a great showing, given they're Grade 8 players. Which begs the question, do they find it intimidating?
A little bit, but it's still fun because you get to be a better player in the end. No, not really. I don't think it matters.
Well, it makes a difference, and it's intimidating as Grade 8s coming into a Grade 9 tournament, but obviously they do very well, and getting a bronze place finish is awesome.
Badminton can be all about where the birdie's placed and how shots are made, but what allows the teammates to find success has nothing to do with skill.
Because they're close friends, so they're comfortable with each other, and like you said, yeah, they high-five when they miss a shot instead of make a shot, which I think is awesome. They're supporting each other, and there's no hard feelings when there is a missed shot, and I think that's their strongest part.
I think it does make us a better team because we're really close and we know how to communicate with each other without getting each other mad or upset about something.
What's really incredible is how the two friends approach the game, with no expectations.
Well, we didn't expect any medals, but we ended up getting bronze, so that's okay too.
Well, we both know it's like just a game, and I guess we're just lucky to be playing, and yeah.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports.
When William Gow passed away last fall, it left a hole in the local volleyball community. Now, his family and Lakeland Rustlers athletes have ensured that his memory will live on. Josh Ryan has more.
Amid numerous awards at the annual Wrestlers Banquet, the inaugural handing out of the J. William Gow Scholarship stood out for the volleyball athletes and William's wife, Diane.
It was a beautiful moment. I wanted it to be about the athletes, and Lakeland Wrestlers athletes represent very well, and they're very well known in the community.
William and Diane have had a huge impact on the growth of volleyball in the community over the past 4 years, coaching with teams, at clinics, and mentoring future coaches.
I coached my first club season last year with 15 new girls, and they coached the other team with 15 new girls, and they guided me through the whole season. They helped me with absolutely everything, and I'm so grateful for them.
Setting up a scholarship for volleyball athletes at Lakeland was important to the Gow family, as it was something they discussed prior to William's passing last October.
They're at their prime. They could do anything, but to spend time with people in the community, especially their kids, that's a big thing. I'm glad they're giving back.
Being named as a recipient along with Jose Arellano of the men's team trumped winning Female Athlete of the Year for Ray Sigurdsson.
That meant a lot to me. When Austin told me, I just about burst into tears. He was such a big part of my time at Lakeland College, and such a big part of other people's times too.
She's a wonderful young lady, and we're so proud of her. And she's very deserving of all the awards that she won tonight.
William Gow's legacy not only lives on through this scholarship, but also the athletes the Gows coached.
Our first year kids are actually graduating this year, so they're actually going to really big colleges and universities, and we're very proud of that.
And Diane says she'll continue to pass on the lessons that she's learned.
Always tell that person that you love them every day in your family, and to give back to the sport. That's big for us.
Josh Ryan, Newcap Sports.
This is Newcap weather with Gerard Lampa.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're looking forward to more positive temperatures on the weekend there. Yep, more positive temperatures on the weekend, and the trace of, well, finally, some April showers as opposed to the light flakes and some of the heavier pockets that we saw this week too. Let's put this next 24 hours map into motion there, see what we're dealing with. We will see the cloud cover. We will see some precipitation around there. The pinks, of course, that'd be the freezing rain. The green, just plain old rain. And then, of course, the flurry activity there that could push through the lakelands at various points there. But there's certainly some clearer areas available too, so let's not say it's all overcast for the weekend there. But look at the temperatures. Finally, +4s around our region, 7s there, Cold Lake, Pierceland areas, 8 out to Lac-La-Biche and Edmonton, 9 for Provost Macklin areas there. And as we head across for towns to the northeast of us there, 4 at Isle Across, 7 in Green Lake, 6 in Meadow Lake, 3 in St. Walburg, 3 at Maidstone, and 4 for the Battlefords in the area come tomorrow there. Let's head over to Vancouver. Showers and sitting at +10. Edmonton is still at 4, mix of sun and cloud. 5 in Whitehorse, similar skies there. Some cloud cover encroaching in Yellowknife for their +3. -1 in Regina. -2 in Winnipeg, their mix of sun and cloud. Let's head over to Pearson now. Some light showers for their +4. 5 and overcast in Quebec. Cloudy skies in Halifax, sitting at 8 and -1. Snow showers in St. John's and -16, mainly sunny out to Iqaluit. Back to the prairies now and stopping in the Battlefords. Overcast, yes, for 0. -4 by the early hours of tomorrow morning, and still that's a whole lot better than the -16 they were heading into the morning commute earlier today. 4 is what you're looking for tomorrow afternoon as the daytime high. Winds out of the south anywhere from 15 to 25 kilometers per hour on the average. And still you'll see the odd gust or two pushing in that 25, 35, approaching 40K range. That'll be right across the region at various points on the weekend. 0 at the moment in Cold Lake, parts of the lakeland down from +1 earlier on, -3 towards the early hours of tomorrow morning. The precipitation could show up in the form of ice crystals and such there, but -3 by morning, and then looking for +7, so a whole lot better than what we've been seeing for the last little while there. And the precipitation as well could show up as showers, which is what we probably get maybe early Sunday morning in the Midwest. We're looking at 0 at the moment. I think most of the light flakes, honestly, it's just a dusting at the moment. But looking for 4 tomorrow afternoon. Southwest winds 10 to about 20K, and the odd gust or 2 again will push towards 25, 35 kilometers per hour. So let's talk about the next 7 days. On the average, we should be at 11. We've been trying to get there. There are lots of 4s there. In fact, all of those numbers, like we observed yesterday, they're in the positive column. Windy, yes, at times on the weekend, 3 on Monday, and then we probably see some more of those April showers on Monday that could transition to how much snow on Tuesday of the heavy wet kind? Not sure, but it will melt. Look at those numbers. +1 as well for Wednesday there, +3 on Thursday, and more sunshine is possible on Friday for +4. So that is what we're dealing with there. Still a little sluggish, but I'm putting my head on the block that this is the last of it. I hope somebody's listening somewhere to this one there. And having said it, yeah, I'm on the record of saying it too. All of those numbers are positive. We're getting out of this as we head towards, well, the middle of the month now and heading towards the end of April. Brian, it's back to you now for Agriculture News.
Using silage to reduce feed costs is an option for producers over winter, but it means you need to put in the work during the summer. Jared Lampow gets some tips from a feed specialist.
Silage, if it's done properly, is typically always an excellent quality feed.
Travis Pearden is a livestock and feed extension specialist with the Saskatchewan Ministry of Agriculture. His background is economic analysis of beef operations and looking at the cost of different feed methods. He compares the costs and how silage might fit into your budget.
We have definitely seen years before where we've had a dry spring where our perennial crops did not do well. We did not get that early rain to get them going. We had, kind of late frosts that affect them. But you can have conditions like that, but yet still grow an excellent crop of oats or barley for silage or corn.
He says 2017 was a good year for dry hay bales given the lack of rain in some areas, and 2016 was the opposite given excess moisture. Silage will provide options for producers who may want a backup plan if their hay crops fail. Then there's the issue of meeting nutritional needs.
Typically with the dry hay that we put up that we see in Saskatchewan, the quality that it is typically meets the cow's needs for mid-pregnancy. But as soon as you get farther on in that pregnancy, producers really should be adding grain to that ration if they're going to meet the cow's needs as they get closer to calving.
Pearden says with quality silage, you may be able to get away from adding that extra grain. He points to corn silage as having the highest energy levels of any crop that can be grown, but admits it may be low on protein. He says alfalfa works well in the mix to raise the protein level. In making your hay bales, labor costs is a challenge in production, especially if you're doing it yourself to feed 300 to 400 cows.
That's kind of where silage has an advantage. I mean, you can get a custom crew in that can harvest an entire winter feed supply for a typical cow herd in a matter of a couple of days. So it's definitely going to save you a lot of labor in the summer.
The bottom line is to keep tabs on your costs. The ministry has spreadsheets which you can get from the regional offices to customize for your operation. Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.